Leader, at the same time that CBC was covering the 2019 federal election campaign, it chose to launch a lawsuit against the Conservative Party of Canada over video clips and ads. On May 13th of 2021, the federal court dismissed this lawsuit with costs. During Senate question period on June 1st, 2021, I asked, how much did the CBC cost taxpayers for this? How much will the CBC pay the Conservative Party? Has anyone at the CBC who is responsible for bringing forward this lawsuit been fired? I have yet to receive an answer. A similar written question I put on the order paper on May 25th of 2021 remains unanswered. These are events that happened 2 years ago, Leader. The CBC knows the answers to my questions. Leader, over 2 months ago, on February 14th, I asked you about this again, and you said you'd make inquiries. What did you find out? How much did it cost the taxpayers?
Senator Gold.
Well, I don't have an answer to your question, but the CBC, I do not represent, I'm not the CBC, and I'm not the CBC representative in this place. And I know that it has become rather common in some quarters, notably in your party, to assert that the CBC is an organ of Liberal government propaganda, despite all evidence to the contrary, but despite the facts, despite the protestations. I guess in this new world that some live in, the facts don't seem to matter. I have made inquiries. I don't have a response.
Senator Plett.
10 days before Canadians voted in the 2019 federal election, the CBC used tax dollars, government's dollars, you are the government representative, the government leader in the Senate, used tax dollars to sue the Conservative Party. The CBC continued to pursue this lawsuit for a year and a half before it was tossed out. By not answering my questions, the CBC has hidden the financial costs from Canadians ever since. Are we expected to believe it's just a coincidence the video clips the CBC objected to were critical of Prime Minister Trudeau and his government? For example, one of the clips the CBC didn't want voters to see was taken from a public town hall meeting in Edmonton in early 2018. The Prime Minister famously told a veteran they were asking for more than his government could give. His shameful comments were widely reported. The CBC sued the Conservative Party anyway. This week, the Prime Minister claimed the CBC is a foundational Canadian institution, is hiding information from the public for 2 years, the way a foundational institution should behave? Yes or no, Senator Gold? Is this the way a foundational institution should behave? And how much did the lawsuit cost?
Senator Gold.
The decisions of the CBC to pursue a lawsuit against whether the Conservative Party or anybody else is a decision of the CBC and has nothing to do with the government. And the question of where the money came from and whether it came from ad revenue or government or taxpayer revenue, as you asserted, though without any knowledge one way or the other, but is also a matter for the management of the CBC and by extension the board of directors of the CBC, but not for the government representative in the Senate.
Honourable Senators, the time for question period.